Hey, Rox here. So, new patch today in College Football 24, and it looks like a good one, right? I've read through it all. I've gathered opinions from the community, from people who played the game, etc., etc. And overall, like the overall sentiment, it plays better. Now, it hasn't been completely fixed. There's a couple things that I find missing. Specifically, they didn't get rid of scum kicks. Those still seem in the game. And then like zone coverage, they didn't really mention too much. Like, you know, the annoying things like hard flats don't necessarily play hard enough. Deep zones sometimes sprint back there for no regard of like actually like, you know, knowing how a center fielder, you know, actually plays. Now if they sprinting back there, obviously if you like pull them into the box makes sense, but it's too bad. Like deep thirds, like, you know, the Minka Fitzpatricks of the world, the Jesse Bates. I mean, I know those are pros. This is college football, but I'm not that knowledgeable in college football for at least the players. My apologies, outside of some offensive guys that I've gotten well aware of. So those are like the things I'd say that aren't the greatest right now still, and obviously there are more patches to come, but overall, community sentiment on this patch is as high as I've ever seen it, okay? So we're going to go in into practice mode and try some stuff out, of course. They added a few new shotgun formations, 35 teams, gun bunch quads open, known as diamond quads, out of Texas Tech, Western Michigan, deuce twins over, a few other ones. We'll try them out over the time. Like, I decided to go in and take a look at this bunch quads open out of Texas Tech. Now, I'm running Texas with Texas Tech, but looks like some interesting stuff with, like, QB blast overall. So, like, this is just, like, okay, run through the middle with Milrow and score touchdowns. It's a very, very decent one right there as far as quarterback runs. There's like a RPO in this formation too. But overall, a lot of these wide forms struggle attacking the middle of the field. I know, crazy, right? Sometimes attacking the sidelines is also tough, but I like RPO, Q draw, screen. It looks kind of interesting here, right? Like, so everybody just decided to run backwards. I don't know why that happened. Seems like odd behavior. Seems like expletive behavior that like everybody in cover 3. Huh. And maybe it's because they're quads and they're lined up so far away from where they need to be. I guess that makes sense. Maybe man coverage to play a little more, or screen RPO, or just run. Wow, that blocking was actually insane. They also nerfed jukes and spins, so I don't know if you see. This is the most insane. Did Texas get nerfed that hard? Like, I know they nerfed Texas. They did say they nerfed jukes and spins. They're a little bit worse. They're not like they're still gonna beat players without a doubt, especially guys like Jalen Milrow. Boom. So pursuit's a little bit better. They said that in the patch notes. I've gotten reports of that too from people, so that's really nice. What, like, dude, this blocking is insane. They've nerfed platinum spins and jukes and stuff like that. Let's go back to the patch notes. Sorry, I'm just playing now. Tuning in logic to enhance pursuit angles. Oh my god, a huge deal. Pursuit angles behind. I think pursuit angles might have been my least favorite part of College Football 25, and it showed itself online. We were just like running around your entire defenses. They're gonna monitor feedback, so it's tough because a lot of guys you play with, say if you're playing cut, already have low pursuit angles or ratings, so it might not be till later in the year that we actually see the change fully flesh out. Reduce frequency of broken tackles from trailing defenders. I mean, it was so hard to tackle, guys. That's a huge W. Rare broken plays. Offensive players lining too wide. There was issues with custom playbooks, single back formations, spiking the ball in online modes, not working as part of a turbo tempo system. I really never went turbo tempo. I don't know. I like calling my plays, getting up the line of scrimmage, making my changes, and running it. Never been a tempo guy. Maybe that's because I don't got the stamina for it. Another fat joke, Fox. Nice. Fixing issues of speed option running back will follow the QB longer. Yeah, I've noticed, like, okay, so speed options are clearly the best options in the game. I don't think any option even comes close to how good those speed options are generically, right? Generally, if you just call an option and it's a speed option, it's the best in the game, okay? So one issue with them, though, and that like made them kind of inconsistent, is like sometimes you ran here and then like the running back just ran back to the middle of the field. So it does look like he actually stays with you. Now, this wasn't like in all speed options, but that was like a speed option pass almost. but it does allow them to stick with you a little bit longer. So a little bit less of like, where'd you go? Would you abandon me? Right? Like, what the heck? What are you, my father? Shot plays, more lobs versus bullet. Yes, these are AI QB behaviors. Less aggressive based off awareness weighting. Interesting. AI offensive line got adjusted. DB's ability to yeah, so one of the other issues is like on the run game and why stretches and like jet sweeps and all these outside runs were so powerful. Wildcat, we'll get the Wildcat changes here in a second, is the fact that these DBs just would never shed, right? You had a blocker out there. Like, look, my receiver just got thrown to the turf by that Texas guy, number 5. They would just never do anything. Let me see. Let's play it out again. That time, the block actually held pretty good, but I was looking at the block mostly. I think it's also because the last time prior to this. So the block's holding. The block actually held incredibly well. So one time, I was holding right trigger. And obviously, if you're holding right trigger when you're running the ball, sheds will happen a ton. This time, I was not holding right trigger. And look at 9. Yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. Wait and see if the DB shed effectively going forward, because there was like 0 effort. But let's try it one more time. Yeah, like look how long that block's hold. If it went for pursuit, 9 would have never made a play. It does look like shedding blocks is still, I don't know, up in the air. I don't know the ratings of my players either. Increased speed for running out of stamina during a play, like all those quarterbacks running around behind the scrimmage and like running down the field kind of stuff. These two right here are a big deal. Players will leave the QB contained, player unblocked, and or cut around them. This has been an issue in Madden for quite some times. Now, QB contains are still trash, okay? Containing the quarterback is still, like, very impossible to do, which, you know, on somebody like Milroe, I think is a fine spot, since Milroe is one of the best scrambling quarterbacks, if not the best scrambling quarterback in the nation. Oh, breaking tackles. Nice, 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 nice. So you see how I have very little stamina left? All right, you guys can't see that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bros, that was kind of weird. Wait, hang on. I forgot to audible that time. Fox, you ignorant slot receiver. All right, so here we go. That guy got chipped pretty hard. Now run. Let's see how much I can run behind the line of scrimmage. Oh, wow, he's fast. Okay. Texas got some speed bursts back there. Yeah, that was a tough one. Let's see if I can double team him, leave him unblocked, and just run around him. Yep. So, like, I know he wasn't in a QB contain or whatever, and that's a really fast player, but you can still get him around him. I think, like, rollouts will still be a major part of people's offenses. So, we'll see. It's just so overpowered. Increase the reward players receive for shading inside or outside corrected man coverage. I heard man coverage, you're still getting burned. Obviously, abilities matter. What abilities on the receiver, like, really matter. Like, cutter. Cutter is a very important ability for your receivers to beat man coverage. False start chances when you make pre-play adjustments late in the play clock. Fix an issue with run-fit defenders not responding as effectively to Wildcat run plays. This is probably one of the reasons why Wildcat was so effective, was the fact that run defenders kind of just stood still and waited for the blocks to come to them. So that's a big issue. Made an adjustment to the Wildcat on I think they basically just got rid of this one. The motion zone play. Reduce the effectiveness of multiple laterals. I don't know. I like laterals. I think laterals and the wackiness that they bring is some of the fun parts of football games. So, I don't know. I've lost games in the fourth quarter of a guy, like, lateraling it super far. And, like, yeah, you're, like, angry, but, like, they're like, damn. The only problem I have with laterals is the defense, like, running the other way when the ball is in the air. That's the issue. Not necessarily how effective the lateral is getting to the player. It's the defense decides to, like, go to Narnia when it happens. Adjusted the thresholds required to receive the most effective juke and spin moves. W. Adjusted press animation to be more of an effective counter to the takeoff ability. I have a certain philosophy when it comes to this football game, okay? And the philosophy is this. The game is the best when it is a passing and a zone coverage meta game, okay? When it's a man coverage meta and guys can set and forget their players, Ooh, man, we burned him hard. Do we have anybody with takeoff? I don't know. But I don't really like that as much. I don't really like when, if you can call press man, the outside guy just gets locked down. Right? Now he was able to separate. Obviously, this is cover 2 man, so he's got help over the top, but this is okay. But yeah, that seemed okay. Not that great. If they somehow got pressure on me, I would have had to go to an inside guy. Yeah, I mean, like, okay, my route combos were not great. Okay, there's a lot to complain about that play. Let's not use that as an example. Let's run some slants here and see how they respond versus press. Okay, they got past it. The other guy didn't, but one out of 2 times. 1 out of 2 times, it happens every time. Yeah, okay. They were kind of locked down there on those slants. It would have been hard to throw those. That probably would have been maybe a completion. Maybe a completion on one here. Right here. But at this point, if you throw it to one, you could lob it over him. Lobs are, touchy at times. But if you throw it in there, that's an interception. At worst, and a deflection, probably. What was going to happen there. So, I don't know. I like the takeoff ability. It's 3 AP in MUT. I don't see it that much in regs, I don't think. At least in the regs I've played. Updated pass, which is not a lot. So let's be fair. I've not played a lot of teams in regs. Pass protect we can to only include running back in protection if they are already in the block or block and release assignment. I like that. I don't like throwing protection assignments up and then change my running back route unless I want them to change. Abilities, updated coloring, rebounds, gold and platinum tiers, the juke and spin abilities. Big W. I should probably take a look how Junkins looks now. Let's go back and take a look at that. Rebounds, platinum tier, the extender ability, which includes not fire on QB designed runs. So that was something, the extender ability going on QB design runs just made them like insane, where you're just calling like quarterback draw every play. Because like on conservative you could spin too, which is not what should happen. Like conservative should be like covering the ball the whole play, like holding R1 down. I know R1 was like broken, it was crazy, but that's kind of what it should be. All right, Ohio State. Let's find it. There it is, Ohio State. Let's take a look. It's in a book. It's Ohio State. Slightly rebalance the effectiveness of gold and platinum tiers, a quick jump ability. Additionally, we made adjustment tier levels found in Texas. So they nerfed Texas specifically. Texas was a very well used team because of it. Should we try like, what do you think? Some sort of stretch? Let's try some sort of. I'll just do inside zone with Junkins and see how we spin. Okay. That wasn't great. Hang on, bro. Did they really nerf it? Oh, wait, hang on. I'm not even trying to long spin. That's definitely nerfed. That is OMG nerfed. Okay, I realize I'm not doing the good spin that play, but I'm trying the good spin. Okay, well, that one I screwed up. I'm trying to spin backwards. Huh. Yeah, I'm just it's nerfed. It's nerfed bad. Okay, yeah. So that is true. They did. W. Dynasty, they had various bug fixes in Dynasty. They discovered the FCSs were killing people with professional players. They nerfed them. This is a great line. Gave them sanctions, sure they are now using properly rated players. Wear and tear did not recover in FCS schools. Yeah, they have like a million injuries sometimes. Reduced dynamic attendance penalties, increased dynamic attendance in rivalry games. They changed it. They adjusted dynamic attendance. Stadium atmosphere grade, toughest place to play. Basically a lot of bug fixes. They updated defensive schemes and playbooks. AM Sim Logic, right? So the updated recruiting also. Basically, 4 and 5 stars, they will actually be recruited. More top end schools will recruit players. They fixed visit bug, they said. Remove initial influence when scheduling a visited. So yeah, they've done a lot. The Super Sim down here is what we talked about. Increased gap between good and bad schools. Huge. Maybe I wonder if one of the reasons why bad schools won so much, like Tulane was a really good school in my sim, and like I played them in the playoffs, and they were just like RPO me the whole time. I wonder if RPOs were like overpowered the sim engine, and so they had to increase the handoff rate for it. Weird. Increase the loss penalty for schools more than one loss. Yeah. Reduce variance in CF people in media versus coaches. I don't mind variance. I like it. At least some of the distances. Differences, not like crazy differences, are great for the game, but it's got to be a little bit. Otherwise, there's no reason to have 2 polls. All right. Issues. Yeah, more bugs getting solved, I guess, overall, which is a W. No, like, major balance changes to it. Road to Glory also. They got rid of, like, the ability to get, like, a 99 overall Road to Glory character right off the bat by maxing out your skill points. That was a nice exploit that people found, like, day 1. Yeah, just a lot of bug fixes. No balance changes. So that's kind of neat. College Football Ultimate Team, again, a whole bunch of bug fixes. Nothing exactly, like, insane as far as, like, a balance change or anything that's too cool. So I actually really like this patch and the amount of bug fixes they've had. There wasn't anything that I really found crazy down here, because like the first patch should be like all bug fixes. They said they're going to come out with custom audibles saving game to game at some point this year, and I guess we'll see what that will end up being. Yeah, Junkins still really good, but not like Superman otherworldly, like throw him straight out of like an animated movie superstar type stuff here. So I like it. Overall, good change. Obviously, there's more to be worked on, but that's kind of gaming today. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on the patch. Like I said at the top, Scum Kick, contains, zones are the 3 things that I'm still looking at to be number 1 fixes going forward. You guys let me know. Like, drop passes still in the game, so maybe drop passes. But it is college football players. Some of them are very frustrating. I've seen some plays where, like, hits the guy in the hands in the end zone wide open, it bounces up, and then the defense intercepts it. There's some tough ones. I've heard comments like, you know, feels better players have more urgency to get to the ball now versus just standing still. Like, my biggest issue always has been, like, on the run. Like, watch the zone defenders. IRL zone plays the run so much better. But, like, in this game, you see how they just kind of, like, stand still until the lineman hits them? Like, obviously, the deep zones in coverage. But, like, the fact that the ball is handed off and, like, he's still flat-footed back there. Maybe he doesn't want to bite on the play action, but he's already being blocked. The only way, like, a random shed happened to get me to stop, but, like, watch the linebacker is what I'm talking about. Like, watch this guy. Like, you see this? You see the lineman firing down? Depends if you think it's going to RPO, which his zone is, but, like, look how wide these run lanes are. Like, does this happen? I mean, maybe it would happen, obviously. It's West Virginia. But, like, this is just, like, standard across the board type stuff. Like, 54 gets displaced by 3 yards just about before it gets a random shed. I don't know. That's generally not how it works. Number 4 is dropping crazy into coverage. He's got, like, hook zone responsibility. Like, a hook zone, I feel like he's in a run fit. I know that for sure. And then he's able to get, like, thrown outside by a wide receiver. Like, this is, like, some of the issues, like, sometimes why the run is so good is because guys in zone coverage play their zone coverage before their run fits. And then, like, defensive linemen just get, like, displaced to an insane degree, no matter the rating imbalances. And the only thing they can do to change it is a random block shed. So they need to fix a little bit of that. And that's been an issue in Madden forever, though. So it might be a new engine before we get that. All right, that's it. Bye.